Good morning. Sorry, I'm running a few seconds behind today. Welcome to Total Body Strength. Jazzy here, program manager with Exos at Autodesk. And I have a fun workout plan for us this morning. Whoops, knocked something over there. We are going to be working for 40 seconds and we're going to be transition resting for 40 seconds, 20 seconds. And then we're going to be focusing a lot on shoulders today. So switching it up, and I'll go ahead. I'll get started with the demoing part here. So first thing we're going to start off with are around the world raises. We're going to have our palms facing forward, dumbbells outside of our legs. We're going to lift our arms all the way overhead and come back down. We want to make sure we're going at a good pace here, that we're not swinging back and forth, just lifting those arms above head. And then after that, we're going to do alternating front raises here, but we're going to have our palms again facing up. So we have an underhand grip. We're going to lift one arm up and then back down, and then the other arm up and back down. It does help get a little bit more chest engagement if you do come across the body versus straight up. So we want to come across the body with those palms facing up. And then we're going to go ahead and do lateral raises after that. So hands outside of our legs, elbows driving up towards the ceiling and back down, just like that. And then after that, we're going to do alternating overhead presses. So one arm at a time, coming up overhead. Like I said, we're doing lots of shoulder work today. And then after that, we're going to get on the ground for our core work. Let me just make sure we can see me when I'm on the ground. And we're going to start off with single leg lowering here. So we're going to have both our feet up towards the ceiling. And then one leg at a time, lower, come back up, and then lower and come back up. My feet are getting cold. All right. And then after that, we're going to do some dead bugs with our core assist. So we're going to have our dumbbells straight over our shoulders, one leg extend at a time, come back up, extend, and come back up. For those last two, really important to make sure that our belly button is pressed into the ground the whole time, so we get that core engagement. And I think we're ready to rock and roll here. So no, that's not what time it is. Okay. Watch is off apparently this morning. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with our warm up here. So we're gonna go ahead, started the timer. Not time for that yet. We're gonna do a little bit of plank to pike, and then we're gonna do some arm circles here. So getting on our hands and toes, and we are going to push ourselves up from a plank position. We're gonna push our glutes up towards the ceiling into that pike position and back down, and two more pushing up into that pike and back down, and last one into the pike. And we can go ahead and walk our hands towards our feet, and we can slowly roll up. I did not roll up very slowly, but that's okay. All right, move the camera back up. And then next thing we're going to do some arm circles here. So we're going to go forwards and backwards with one arm, and then we're going to switch over to the other side. So we're going to take my right arm, we're going to make nice big circles going backwards first, really opening up our chest, opening up our shoulders. And let's do one more. And we're going to go back. Sorry, we're going to go forwards. Oh, wait. Yeah, this is forwards. It's confusing because your arm goes back for you to go forward. I got a little confused there. Haven't had any coffee yet. All right, let's go ahead and go to the other side now. So left arm, we're gonna do some backwards ones. And we're gonna switch directions, going forwards. All right, and then last, let's do some hugs here. So we're gonna go hug the world, hug yourself, do that a couple times, get those shoulders moving, rocking and rolling. All right, I think we are ready to go. So 40 seconds of work, 10, I keep saying 10, 20 seconds of rest. And we're gonna go through that 3 times. I'm getting the timer started here in 3, 2, 1, and go. So we have around the world raises first, and we are going to go all the way around our head and then back down. So I want to make sure we're not smacking the weights together. Want to be nice and slow, controlled, nice and careful. Want to make sure too that we are not swinging back and forth. So we don't want our hips to come back and forward. We want them to stay the same. So they're staying right underneath our shoulders. 3, 2, 1. All right. Next up, we have the alternating underhand front raises here. So we're going to come over and across with the palm up, and then where's this? All right. 3, 2, 1. So we got our palms facing up, over and across. Exhaling as we lift up. And again, making sure that we're not swinging the weight up. We don't want our hips to be moving. We don't want our body moving. We really want everything to be nice and calm. Just our arms moving, really squeezing through the armpits here. And by the armpits, I mean the chest. Wrong cue, my bad. 3, 2, 1. All right. Next up, we have lateral raises. So we are going to come straight out to the side and driving with the elbows is going to be our goal here. 3, 2, 1. So pinkies up, elbows breaking the glass. That's in line with our shoulders here. Want to make sure that we're not bringing those dumbbells together. We want constant tension, keep those dumbbells outside of the legs. Keeping that core nice and tight. Our back is flat. And again, we're not moving up, swinging back and forth. That's using momentum. We're not going to use it in our shoulders if we do that. So lifting straight up. 3, 2, 1. All right. Next up, we have our alternating overhead presses. I have to say this is definitely, I haven't had coffee yet, so we're not in my finest form right now, but we're good. 3, 2, 1. One arm at a time. Coming up overhead. Keeping those elbows up. So when our elbows up, dumbbells near the shoulders, we don't want to drop our elbows down. When that happens, we're running the risk of hurting our shoulders further. It's a very large range of motion that we don't need to be getting right now. We want constant tension on our shoulders, recruiting as many muscle fibers as we can here, really getting some nice shoulder strength through this. I should change today's class from total body strength to total shoulder strength. 3, 2, 1. All right, nice job. 2 more parts of round 1. We're going to lay on the ground. We got our single leg lowering, and then we have our dead bugs with the core assist. We're going to get that going here. 3, 2, 1. So flat on the back, belly button into the ground, having those heels towards the ceiling, keeping those legs as straight as we can. We want to make sure we're pulling them back with our core. It does help if you exhale as you come up, really engage that core. So by pushing the belly button into the ground, our core is engaged a little bit more because we're keeping it pulled into the pushed into the ground. And then we're pulling our legs up using our core, not our hips. 3, 2, 1. All right. Next up, we have our dead bugs with the core assist. So we're going to grab our dumbbells. We're getting ready for that. We're going to be laying on the ground again. 3, 2, 1. Hands above the shoulders. Same thing. So we're pushing the belly button into the ground, knees directly above the hips. Exhaling as we bring the knees back in, making sure that belly button is staying on the ground, really using the core here. Great job. We're almost there. These are feeling really hard today for some reason. 3, 2, 1. All right. Round 1 is done. We're getting back up for round 2. Around the world raises. Starting first. 3, 2, 1. Oh, I forgot to put the camera. Palms forward. Bringing those dumbbells all the way up overhead. Again, just using our shoulders. If we need to drop weight down for this movement, I would highly recommend doing that if you have that ability. If you don't have any other weights, you can always just drop your weights, do body weight nice and slow, up overhead, back down, still squeezing through the shoulders. This one we're going to feel in the front, in the sides, and definitely a lot more in the back. 3, 2, 1. All right. Next up, we have our underhand across the body front raises. Get a little bit of chest action in there. 3, 2, 1. So palms up across the body, back down. Great job, really squeezing through the chest and then lifting that arm up. Want to make sure we're feeling it more in the chest. It can be pretty easy to feel this one in the biceps instead. So we really want to focus on using our muscles with the proper intent. So we want to make sure we're not pulling with our bicep, we're pulling with our chest. 3, 2, 1. All right, nice job. Next up, we have lateral raises. We're out to the sides. Lots of shoulder work. I love, if you didn't know, shoulders are my favorite. My favorite day. 3, 2, 1. So keeping those pinkies up, driving through the elbows. Making sure too, we're pulling our shoulder blades down and back. So we're squeezing those shoulder blades together. Not really together, but like we're pulling them towards our butt. So we're squeezing through the armpit there, just like if we were rowing. So we squeeze, set, and then lift. It's going to really help us engage our delts properly, our shoulder muscles properly, versus using some other muscles that compensate usually. So our shoulders are not coming up, our ears are staying really far away. 3, 2, 1. All right. One more shoulder part of this round. So we got our alternating overhead presses, and then we're going to go ahead and get on the ground, and then we're going to do that one more time, and then we'll be done with this workout today. 3, 2, 1. One arm at a time, keeping the core tight, back flat. We want to make sure that as we lift up, we aren't arching our back. If we're arching our back, it means a few things. One, it means that the weight is a little too heavy. We need to lighten it up. And 2, usually means that we have a little bit of mobility issues in the shoulders. So if that is you, definitely want to come to our stretch breaks, get some more shoulder mobility going in there. 3, 2, 1. All right, on the ground. Single leg lowering is next. And then we've got our dead bugs with the core assist. 3, 2, 1. Heels in the air, lower one leg. to center, making sure we're pushing the belly button into the ground. We're using the core, not the legs, to lift our legs back up. Awesome. If you want another good workout, we're spelling spooky today. 3, 2, 1. All right, we got our dead bugs with the core assist coming up next. But exercises today, we are spelling out spooky. So it's going to be a good one. It's going to be more total body than this. 3, 2, 1. All right. Hands above the shoulders, knees directly above the hips. So you don't want those knees coming in. It's going to take the core out of it. So keep those knees pulled out. Belly button plastered to the ground. So we're pushing that belly button towards the ground, keeping that pelvis nice and tucked. Exhaling as we come back will really help us engage that core a little bit more, take the pressure off of our hips and our hip flexors. 3, 2, 1. All right. We are ready for round 3. Standing on up. We got around the roll raises first. 3, 2, 1. Palms forward. This is the last round of these. But yeah, we are spelling spooky. We do also have 2 stretch breaks today, which are always nice after doing all the classes all week to get a little refresh. Nice job. I'm gonna get a few more in here. Really use those shoulders. 3, 2, 1. All right, we're not going all the way up with that one. All right, next up we have our underhand front raises. I love those ones. Really engages the chest really well. 3, 2, 1. Palms up, up, over, and across. Really making sure we're not swinging back and forth, so we're not using momentum. We are just using our chest. Good job. Want to go nice and slow through this as well, really having the most intent with the movement. So really moving the dumbbell by using the chest, not engaging the chest by moving the dumbbell. So really focusing on the muscles. 3, 2, 1. All right. Next up, we have our lateral raises. So going out to the side. Shoulders are definitely feeling it right now. Love it. All right. 3, 2, 1. We're definitely gonna have really nice shoulders leading into the winter, but that's fine because now is the time where we need to put the work in to look the way we want to and feel the way we want to for next summer. So if you've got any vacations coming up in the spring, now is the time to start getting ready for it. If that is what you would like to do, you gotta always start a lot sooner than you think. Building muscle, losing weight, any goals you have related to fitness you can't really get them very quickly. And if you do, that means you're going to lose it very quickly. So you want to be sustainable. So it takes a little bit longer. 3, 2, 1. All right. Last shoulder exercise of the morning. We do have a few shoulder things later on, so I won't say for the day in case y'all are coming. But we do have our alternating overhead presses. 3, 2, 1. So one arm at a time. Really controlling the weight. Making sure those elbows are staying up. Keeping that core nice and tight. Our pelvis is tucked. Great job. Like pushing through the soreness, through the tiredness right now. 3, 2, 1. All right. On the ground. 2 more movements. Single leg lowering coming up first. All right. 3, 2, 1. That's what happens when I have to get blood work done, so I can't drink any coffee before I do. They got me yawning all over the place. Body's barely moving. Still trying to wake up. All right, great job. Belly button into the ground. Using our core. Come back up. All right, 3, 2, 1. Last movement of the morning. We have our dead bugs with core assist. And then we'll cool down. 3, 2, 1. Hands above the shoulders, knees above hips, belly button into the ground. Only drop those legs as far as you can without your low back coming up off the ground. So if that's only going to here, then only go to there. But if you can go as far low as you can without breaking form, keeping the knees above the hips. Great job. Keep pushing. My core is feeling it. I don't know about y'all. Almost there. 3, 2, 1. And that is going to be it for this total body strength class. Nice job. Go ahead and grab a sip of water if you need it. And then we're going to make our way onto the ground for our cool down. And we're just going to stretch out our back and chest a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and go on our hands and knees here. And I'm going to take my right arm, thread it through in between my left arm, left leg, push the back of the hand into the ground, pull with the upper back. And on the next breath, we're going to wrap the other arm around, tucking it in the hip of the opposite side leg. Do a few breaths here. And we're going to switch over to the other side. And one more deep breath. And on or after the exhale, go ahead and plant both our hands back under our shoulders, one at a time, of course. And then we're going to go ahead and do that on the other side. So left arm in between right arm, right leg, push into the ground, pull with the back. And let's go ahead now, wrapping around our opposite hand, all the way up, over, and around, tucking into the hip of the opposite side. And let's go ahead and we're going to do one more deep breath here. And after that exhale, we can go ahead and bring our hands back under our shoulders. And next up, last thing here, we're going to go ahead and stretch out our chest a little bit. So we're going to stay seated, or sorry, we're going to stay kneeling for this. We're going to go ahead and interlace those fingers behind our back, push the hands into the ground, pull away with our, pull our hands away. we're gonna start to look up towards the ceiling. So it's gonna stretch out our chest and shoulders. We did a lot of both of those today. This is gonna help us stretch that out so we don't get as sore, because that was really, we didn't do anything else except for shoulders today. So nice big deep breaths, long slow exhales. And we'll do one more deep breath. And on or after the exhale, we can go ahead and release. And then real quick, just to kind of loosen everything up again, let's go ahead and swing our arms back and forth. So we're gonna hug the world, hug ourselves. This one gets my chest going really well. That was very nice. All right, let's go ahead and do a few more here. All right, and that is going to be it for today's total shoulder strength class. We do have 2 stretch breaks today, as always, on Thursday, so 11 and 2:30, both of them with Luis today. And then we do have exercise with exos with me at 12. We have dance with John at 12:30, and then abs core mobility later tonight with Luis at 4:30. So definitely check all of those out. You can find them either through the Exos Fit app or all up on SharePoint as well. And then you can always keep up to date with everything on Slack. Thank you all for joining me. Great job, and I'll see y'all later.